Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's Friday with me, Lorene. So, yay, we made it. We made it through another day. So, let us just make sure everything is working beautifully. How's things been going, my friends? Let us just make sure everything. Here we go. Funny looking at the subtitles over in Facebook land. Oh dear, so funny. So okay, cool. And that one up there, fabulous. Oh, I wonder if that means, now that I've got 500 followers, I wonder if that means I can send the stars thing now. Well, that would be pretty cool. I have no idea what the stars thing is. Hi, Taylor. Lovely to have you back. How are you, sweetheart? Evening, Melinda. How are we all going? So, I ended up going for a little visit down to the Crystal show at the is it the Ridley Showgrounds down at Wayville today, this afternoon, after doing some bits and bobs around the home. And I did end up coming home with some treats. Funny that. I went down with one thing specifically in mind and didn't find a single one of that, because it was some earrings that I was looking for. Not a single thing that, you know, I would have thought that there would have been earrings there, but there wasn't really. And the ones that they had, there was like 4 or 5 sets that were just, yeah. It was almost like, let's just throw these in at the last minute kind of thing, or it's like the last of the old stock kind of thing, and there was only one, or it was not good, but the other stuff was really amazing. So I got myself 3 bracelets today. They are currently sitting over on the selenite disc that Alex has, so they're being cleansed and doing their yummy things while we talk. So I got a howlite, a merlinite, and a snowflake obsidian bracelets today, 3 of them. And then I picked up some green. Hang on, I took a photo of the thingammy. What's it? Where are you? Green Adventurine. I should be able to remember that. A Green Adventurine Merkaba pendulum. So that looks really cool. And yeah, and then I got a couple of things I got something for Alex as well. So yay. It's been a fun day. But yes, I am on the lookout for some very nice sort of sweet dangly earrings, but not too much. Like they're only maybe that big. If you can, ones that don't hang down too far, because it's not earrings for me, it's earrings for a friend. So yeah. And this friend has short hair, and so they just love earrings. So I'm like, well, that's cool. So, and it's the first year I'm buying for them for Christmas and their birthday in January, and so I'm looking forward to finding something special for them. But yes. So, seeing as we've got a few of you here now, yay! Looking for some dangly earrings and a ring as well. So, maybe we can put a call out on the show tonight for, hi Debbie, for people who are maybe got little shops here in Adelaide that, you know, perhaps they have a good range of earrings and things like that, that we could support. You know, that would be great for Christmas. I mean, I'd much rather buy something that is, you know, in the local, supporting the local market. So maybe I'll do that. It actually popped into my head earlier in the week. So given that this friend of mine isn't actually on Facebook, that makes it really easy. That's not like I'm going to get found out. So anyway, let us have a look at our weekly reading. We have, of course, got a new moon happening on the 13th. Oh, I don't know about you, but I think there's a Mercury retrograde coming. We're in the shadow period, and it's about to hit us soon. There's the new moon energies. There's also the energies of just everybody in the world. We're in, I think we're in a Venus retrograde at the moment, but don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Yeah, that would be, that's just, there's a lot of energy up still for this time of year. But what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling is that the energies that are up at the moment, particularly with the Venus ones still floating in and around, is that it is a lot of heart-based stuff. So it's a lot of emotional based areas. So you might be finding yourself feeling a lot more like this. And if you're someone like me who when they're doing this tends to emotionally eat, you know, the highs and the lows, you might be finding that you're eating a lot more at the moment. And you know, for us in the south, in the southern hemisphere, you know, it's not the ideal time to be overeating, because like we're in summer. We're all trying to get our beach bodies ready, right? We're not trying to build up our winter coats like they do in the north. So I'm just jesting. If you wish to eat plenty during this time and listen to your body, then please do that. It's more important, because then you'll find it evens out anyway later. But yeah, it's certainly a very interesting time in the energies right now, and how they are working with your body. So just be an allowance of that as well, and try to choose the things that are, you know, not going to be quite so long lasting in your body. Hi, Catherine. Yeah, Melinda, I would love to support a local person too for this jewelry type stuff. If I'd been a little bit more organized earlier in the year, I would have actually gone through and done a few more of the fairs and the markets and things, and because that's a really, really good way of, you know, finding those great little people. But I reckon there must be some people here in Adelaide who do their own jewelry and things like that, and have maybe a little shop frontage, or perhaps they have like a section of a shop that has a bunch of different makers within that shop. If I remember rightly, I did see something. This is going back a few, maybe even 3 to 4 years ago now, in the city, when I went to one of the old school cinemas, and there's like this alleyway that you go down, and off to the right there was a shop in there that had all of these different makers, had all of like their products for sale, and you basically hired a section of the shop for display, and they had this whole deal about, you know, you get commissions or something, whatever it was. But if there's one of those in the city, I'm sure that they're elsewhere too. So might I'll find somewhere. Right. Who wants to do the weekly reading, please? Ah, is that why you came out to play? Okay. All right. So let's do this weekly reading. We've got all those lovely energies that are up. It's currently the 8th of December. So this reading is for the 9th of December through to the 15th, including the lovely new moon right smack bang in the middle. So we've got lots of lovely bejubbly energies. Let's see how we can best work with them. What is going to be our best way forward? What tools and tips that our teams, and who are obviously tapping into the collective energies, can give us as well. So the reason why I was like, oh, that's why those cards wanted to come forward. So this is one of Alex's deck that has very kindly, it happened to be in here earlier today with me. We were talking about crystals and things, and one of his card decks called out to me. So I was like, can I use this tonight on the show? Because, yeah, of course. So let us have a look and see what the unicorns have to say. Wow, there's a lot in this card. All right. So let's have a look at this wee card here. So what I'm seeing for this week to come is that things might get a little bit stormy. But of course, with the storms comes the rainbows. And that's true in life too. Sometimes things get really bloody messy before things will start to open up and clear up, and you get rid of all the debris, and then you'll be able to see the rainbows and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So what we're yeah, he is. So what this beautiful card is giving us sort of a little bit of a hint at is that while things might seem a little bit rough, especially over the weekend, perhaps physically with the weather, but also it could come through energetically. You know, when we've got a lot of energy, as in weather type energy flowing up and around, you can also get a lot of electrical energy in the air. And with the electrical energy, can spark off a lot of emotional energies. So just be aware of how the energies around you are functioning. And also along with that, I just heard them say, ride high on your steed. All right. So sit tall, be present, be connected to your core. And this is to do, because I used to ride horses when I was young. So if you are not centered in your space, if you are not grounded on your saddle, you will bounce all over the place, and then you will invariably fall off because your legs are not holding you in place. And just sitting on a saddle is not enough. So basically that translates to, you know, ride high, sit firm, be present within yourself, especially for this week to come and over the weekend. remember to be in your joy. Remember to be in that space of looking forward to the brightest parts of what is going to be coming for the days, the weeks, the months. Look forward to the new year. And what are you going to be creating? What are you like? Where are your goals, your targets for the new year? That's all stuff that can come up over the weekend and over this week. Along with the rockiness, which may be also in relation to some people around you, whether they be family or work or whatever, we've got the Enlightenment card. So let me just see if I can, there we go. Beautiful. So this Enlightenment card, it says, look from the highest perspective and see the divine in everyone. Okay. So this is really, really asking you to be out of your judgment, out of your 3D-ness. It's really demanding that you see the world from the 5D perspective and or above that. Okay. It's passing through the 4D where all the emotions sit and swirl around, and you can get a little bit caught up in there for a bit. Being in that 5D space, that's why we do the expanding out tool at the very, very start of the meditation in the evening, because at the end of the show, because that's helping you to bring you and know what it feels like to be in that 5D space. It's taking you to that space of allowance. And with that, you are then able to perceive things from a really different point of view. You'll be able to see the divine. You'll be able to see the truth, if you like, of everybody that you're coming in contact with. So whether that be you see the truth of them from like that, maybe they are telling you a whole bunch of, porky pies. Maybe they are being actually really super genuine and they really truly do wish to help you. And it's only your own stubbornness that is getting in the way. Maybe they are saying some half-truths, what we call truths with lies attached. Kids are really good at that. Teenagers especially are really, really good at truths with lies attached. And some people don't grow out of it. So, you'll be able to see things with a lot more clarity coming over this week. And that can sometimes be very challenging too, because it's like we get these very specific points of views in our head around certain people about what they will and won't do. And that can be based on their past actions, but it also can be based on our heart hurts, our traumas, just funny little phrases like all men are bastards or all women are bitches. Having that point of view puts like that filter over our eyes. So every single person that comes through and comes in contact with us will be seen through that filter. And so you'll not be able to see the divine in them with as much ease. And this is why we have to expand out, because expanding out takes us beyond our previous points of views, our belief systems, all of that sort of stuff, so that we can literally be that nice, light, fluffy cloud, seeing things for what they are without getting wrapped up in the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of other people or ourselves. Okay. And along with this one, which is the sitting really high in your saddle, sitting strong, being present, we have throughout the middle of the week. So this is roughly when the new moon is happening. So sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got stand in your power, be passionate about your vision, bring about positive change is what this beautiful card, let us just have a moment with the card, because they are so, so pretty. We say thank you so much for being here. Okay, so this is just basically bringing this energy back through again to remind you to be really, really present with you. And with that, this is the conversation that popped up today. When you're standing in your power, you don't have to be an egotistical asshole to do that. You can still be kind. You can still be compassionate. You can still have empathy. You can still share your love. You can still be all that you be, all the stuff that makes you magically you. Standing in your power basically requires you to have boundaries, not barriers, boundaries, where you can be kind and compassionate, but also there's the acknowledgement and the knowledge that you have all of this incredible knowledge, incredible power within you, and you're choosing when to use it and when to not. You are in control of you. And as such, and with the expanding out tool and the awareness of everything and everyone that you are coming into contact with, you're also able to go, yes, I see you. And I see your pain. And I acknowledge it's not my job to fix you. I'm here for you. I can hold space for you. But I'm not here to fix you. Interesting, hey? And it's something that one of my teachers, my spirit guide teachers, is showing me at the moment. And they're an interesting teacher because they're someone who doesn't like the pomp and fanfare. In fact, they don't even want me to tell you who it is. That's how, this is what I mean. It's like there's the acknowledgement they are so strong and so potent, yet they're not interested in the palaver because it's meaningless to them. And not just because it's an embodied human thing, because they were once embodied humans and are in some dimensions still. And they're guiding me from the spirit space, which is really cool, right? So stand in your power. And perhaps if you've got some particularly wise, mature guides who have been around for many millennia, I'm being very cautious here because they don't like to be referred to as anything else that we might say. So they still have their quirks, you know. It's interesting he stepped in today. So yeah, you can be all of that and still be joyful. You can still feel the love and express your love. Yeah. Amazing. The next card. So stand in your power, please. Okay. So we're heading towards sort of Thursday. And we've got the cocoon of white light. Okay. So this card is about rest in perfect love, understand oneness. So the words that really stood out initially was about the rest. So you might feel a little tired towards the end of next week. Also, as I tune in a bit closer to this card, I'm also perceiving that your teams are asking for you to there's the cocoon of white light, which is often seen as the protection. So be firm in your boundaries. This is obviously something that's coming up a bit today. Be firm in your boundaries. If a cocoon of white light works for you, then do it. I don't do that. I prefer to use the expanding out tool because it takes me beyond that, and I don't end up like that tight white pebble going bow, 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 in a glowing white ball around the energy of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I don't like functioning from that space, so I tend to go the other way. I'll use the white light and I'll bring it up through my body. You know, when I bring Mother Earth energy up and the Father Sky energy down, quite often there'll be light or opalescent light that'll go along with that, and then that will expand out with me when I expand out my awareness. This card has got lots of things going on. So the other thing around that is around, we are all going through so much growth at the moment. There's a lot of expanding of spiritual awareness, of our knowledge, of our heart-centered spaces, all of that sort of thing. And the connectedness to each other is really heightening at the moment, which is why people who are empaths are a little bit more like at this time of year, especially. And we want to just go into our little cocoons and fucking stay there. It's like, I don't want to be around people. Big crowds are just not fun, you know. And a lot of workplaces at the moment are starting to get really wound up because it's coming up to the end of the year, and you know, they want to get all the work done so that then when you take your week or so break, you know, you've got everything, you've caught up. And so that puts a lot of pressure on and all that sort of thing. And for empaths, when all of those energies and all that stress and all the frustration starts really ramping up, we feel it through our bodies. And that can make us want to just hide away from the world. So if you are finding at the moment that you're getting things like a lot of tiredness, body aches, headaches, migraines, you might be quite dry and thirsty. So a bit of dehydration coming in there. You might be, there's something else in there. What is that? You might be finding your own energy and your own emotional spaces fluctuating quite a lot. And it's those fluctuations are generally because you're matching the energies around you. This is where that cocoon of white light or expanding out will become really, really useful to you, because you'll become more aware of who you are beyond all of that bullshit. And make it a little bit easier for you to function while all those other energies are floating around. The other thing to remember is to cut the cords or destroy and uncreate the relationships, or whatever you have to do, whatever tools you use to just clear out everybody else's crap when you leave work or move away from a tense, frustrating situation. Do use those tools. And theta healing, we zip up like this. If you feel like you're way open and you're like, oh, I feel like I've just given all of my energy away, zip up. That's a theta healing thing. And Reiki, they brush upwards through the legs and brush upwards through the arms and then come down the body 3 times. That's another way of zipping up, if you like. And if you feel like you need to do that to your body, or if that resonates more for you, then do that. There's so many different ways. If you feel like maybe certain crystals or gemstones will help protect you, something like hematite or maybe black obsidian or something like that, you might find some peace with those if you wear those around at the moment, just to help give you a little bit of a buffer between those and the energies around you. Okay. So the other thing to remember with that card, like I said, there's a lot going on. Tourmaline is another one. Well done. Thank you, Melinda. I don't profess to be a huge wealth of knowledge in the crystals, but the ones that I've worked with the most, I tend to have them in my mind. Alex has a lot of crystals. In fact, I think you might be able to see some. Move like that. That's a whole shelf of them. He has a lot. And that's just some. He's a very great collector of lots of awesome things that make you feel really good. But the other thing that was coming up in that card was just the reminder that we are all part of the collective, all of us. Even the numbskull that cut you off in traffic today, even that person that you're struggling with so bad, we are all part of the collective. And it's just some of us are more aware. Some of us have done more work. Some of us are more in tune and more sensitive than others. We all have a part to play. And when you are able to, I remember this feeling from looking at my grandparents, especially my granddad, when he'd look at my younger brothers and they'd be off doing something dumb. And exploring maybe their environment or their bodies or whatever. And you'd see this look come over his face of, yeah, I can see how this is going to turn out. Somebody's probably going to get hurt. But you know what? Sometimes people just have to learn for themselves. So I'll be here to pick up the pieces, and that's okay. And I might sort of give a gentle warning of like, you really sure you should be doing that, mate? Oh, yeah. Okay. You'll learn. And then given the space to do that. And when you're in that maturity, I think is probably the best way to put that word. There's a sense of peacefulness with that. You're not going around trying to save everybody all the time, because you understand the value of kinesthetic learning. All right, so towards the end of next week, there is divine potential. Fulfill your destiny. Be all you can be. I don't know about you, but that just feels like a lot. So I get the sense that there's going to be some it's going to come out in a couple of different ways. There's going to be those of us who are more of the, if you want to say, negative Nellies, who are going to go, is this all my life has come to? I can't believe this year has gone so fast and I've done absolutely nothing with it. Oh my freaking God, Jesus, what a waste of a day. What a waste of a year or a lifetime or whatever. Then you're going to get the other side of the people who go, gosh, this year's been pretty amazing so far. And you know what? I'm really striving to do this next stage of life and I'm really excited about it. And everything that I can do, I'm willing to do it. So this is just a gentle reminder to please be in your heart and remember, if you're still up and kicking, there's still chance for you to fulfill your destiny of whatever that might be, and to allow your dreams to fly and to be all that you can be. So there is So many possibilities out there if you're willing to choose them. So many. And there are gifts around every corner if you're willing to look for them. So let's have a look at our yummy card for the week. Apparently it's this one. It's guidance. So please tap in with your spirit teams this week, my friends. Allow them to help you through this week to come. It's going to get a little bit, so just a quick wrap up. There's going to be a little bit bumpy at the start of the week. But remember to stand in your power, sit solid in the saddle and see the rainbows. Make sure that you're not focusing too hard on the bumpy spots and the rainbow and the rain and the storm clouds, and unless you like storms. But see the beauty. See the beauty. Remember that we are all part of the collective. Create some boundaries for yourself and give yourself the space to rest if you require it. If that means that you end up in bed at 7 o'clock at night instead of 9, 10, 11, please do it. Allow yourself to do that. And it's a beautiful time right now for reflection of both how far you've come over the last 12 months and where you would like to be in 12 months' time. All right. And again, just please check in with your team, see how they're going, and let them help you get through any of those rough patches. Okay. So keep things light, keep things joyous as much as you can. Focus on the beautiful energies. Okay. All right. Melinda, my beautiful one, you have popped in your donation for this week, and I'm very grateful. Oh, goodness. Very, very grateful indeed. So if you would like to please pop your question down the bottom there so that I can have it there ready to go. We're getting throat stuff happening with you today, honey. That's fun. Okay. 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 Or whatever they want to talk about. You're funny. All right. So I had to double check if your team still wish to use this particular card deck, and they do. You're familiar with this one. I know you have this at home. And interesting cards to play with. Oh. Oh, okay. That's moved some energy. Cool. I wonder what's going to pop out of that deck. All right. It's a good thing you can't see what's happening with my hands because all the cards are just going all over the place because I brought out this other deck and it's going. It's one that I very rarely bring out on the show, so it's interesting. We're getting all the interesting different card decks today. My guess is because of all the energies that are up at the moment. So we're tapping into some really different spaces. Those big sighs are just lots and lots of chest energy. Lots of energy coming up. Going, I am so looking forward to the new year. I really am. 2023, has been wonderful. It's been challenging as all get out in so many ways. And there's been so many gifts that have come from feeling the resistance and moving through it anyway. And that this year, that has very much been the theme of this year for me. So I'd love to know how you guys have if you sort of look at an overall synopsis of your year, what would be the phrase that you would attribute to that? So for me, it's definitely feeling the resistance and moving through it anyway. Definitely that is this year for me. But just if you could pop that in the chat, that would be really awesome. Give me something to connect further and more deeply with you on. And this card deck has obviously got a really specific one for Melinda. Come on, guys. Let's speed it up. Okay. All right, Melinda, we got your love reading. Okay. So from your team, of what I can see, this particular reading is going to be talking about the things that you've got in place at the moment that are potentially blocking you from receiving your next most delicious partner. So the time that we've got up on the clock at the moment is 44 minutes, 52 seconds. Okay, if you want to write that down, and then you can come back and have another listen to this, because there's going to be a lot of information that's going to come forward pretty quick. Okay. So we've got, this is from the Starseed Oracle. So we know these cards. So we've got here, you got the love, the Heredian energy, the codependency, and boundaries. So I know that you've been working with boundaries and stuff already from the familial stuff. But the codependency was the part that really stuck out in this one from where I was sitting. and what I'm perceiving from your team. And this is something that it's going to be really important that you tackle and have a look at and investigate, and have a look at where is it that you are choosing to be codependent, and look at the different areas of your life where that energy is functioning at the moment. So if we go back to the energies of narcissism and gaslighting for me, and how kept continuing to show up in my partners and then in my workplace and all of that sort of thing, and it's like that's a energy that I was bringing into my world because it was reflecting from what was within. And from me within, where I was sitting with the narcissistic thing, it wasn't that I was being narcissistic to people, I was being narcissistic with my business and with my money. So I had to take ownership of that. Okay. So with this one, I'm seeing they're asking you to please have a look at the area of codependency. And along with that, the boundaries thing, which you're already working on, will make a bit more sense when you sort of put those two puzzle pieces together. We've got another card here about staying grounded. All right. So throughout this process, because we've got Star Keeper here, which is cosmic ancestor, seed seed the light by staying grounded. Blah. So in relation to you finding your most next delicious partner, this most delicious next partner is requiring you to be the light from within. And within that, it's about being in balance. It's about being connected to earth and sky. It's also, along with that, with being the cosmic ancestor, this is about you acknowledging the fact that you are a cosmic ancestor. You are not a newbie to this realm. And as such, there's a lot of responsibility, and also, my hand is just like going off right now. Responsibility and awareness of your potency. It's like you have the whole world in your hand, and you're refusing to see that. You're refusing to see your potency. You're refusing to see just how fucking incredible you are, because you're trying to play less than so that you can fit in. And while you're doing that, you're preventing your most delicious partner from coming in, because they can't see you when you're hiding under this less than shroud. They can't see you. So it's time for you to acknowledge your potency. It's time for you to acknowledge your ancestry and integrate that. The next card that we've got, which blends so beautifully to the first one, the previous one, is Forge, Don't Follow. Okay. You are a leader, a way shower. You are not a follower. And as such, and it goes, brave new path, be the leader you wish you had. This is also to do with your parental stuff that's going on, because you require to and I know that you've already done this in so many ways, but the one way that you are still holding back is in relation to males. So instead of fighting and clawing and trying to get the love and whatever else it is out of the parentals that you were born to, be that for you. Find that within you, because you've been that for your children. It's time to come back to you, because there's something incredibly sexy about a woman who knows her worth. And when guys who are less than come into the sphere of a woman who knows her worth, they'll just float in and around and go. They won't even stay, because you're too much, you're too potent for them. Okay? Be the leader. Be the leader of your heart. Be the leader of your love, and know that you are fucking incredible. Interestingly, to go with the cosmic ancestor, we've got star ancestors, just in case you required to hear this again. Hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and look a little deeper. Okay? You are more than the parents that you were born to. You are way, way, way more than this lifetime. And it is time for you to start realizing that and drawing on that knowledge. You have a lot of secrets within your Akash that are ready to start being seen and heard. And as you dive further and further into that, you're going to start releasing a lot of those blocks. You're going to start releasing a lot of the pain and the hurt and the heartache and the traumas that have floated in and around you, preventing you from bringing in this beautiful person. They're waiting there for you. They just can't see you yet, because you're not bright enough for them yet. They're waiting for you. Okay. I'm just asking this card here. This is you or them, that they're saying this is them. Okay, so this is how you will recognize this person. So they are part of your of star family. So this next lovely, delicious person who's going to come into your world is going to get you in a way that, and I don't mean like, I mean like they will really, really understand you in a way that nobody else in your life ever has. And it is because they're part of the star family as well. They're part of your star family. Okay. And you are a part of a team of souls. Okay. And it says call and support. But you both originally came from, according to this card in this reading, you both originally came from the same planet. And it's like you guys have sort of been floating in and around. You've gone really separate ways for a very long time. So it's like you may have known each other back at the beginning, and it's like now it's time. It's time for you two to come back together. But it's like you haven't been in lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes with this person. This is going to feel really new, but not new. It's going to feel like you can, it's almost going to feel like you can telepathically communicate with them without really knowing them yet. There's going to be moments of feeling incredibly uncomfortable, because you're going to feel really, really seen in a way that is just going to make you sort of go, ah! It's going to make you feel very vulnerable. And that's why you've got to come back and do this work, and you've got to look at that codependency stuff. Okay. Yes, they will recognize each other. Yes, thank you for the question, Julie. I'm getting a big fat yes, they will. However, at the moment, he can't see her because she's not shining as bright as what she requires to be, so that they can recognize each other. Okay. Now, the other card that came forward that was like, I was like, is this one. It is from the Secret Language of Light cards, and it is Nourish. So now that we've had all of the rest of those cards, now that you've seen that you are part of the same star family, that you are a star ancestor, that you're a star keeper, this is you. My dearest Melinda, you are way, way, way more. You are somebody who is here to shine your light over the planet. And this life has been really hard on you. This lifetime has been very hard. And you've been through some really tough stuff that's made you feel like, I don't know why the fuck I chose this. But it's to help you learn to be nourished. That was your goal, is your goal. And this is why this next person, this most delicious, yummy person is going to come into your life, is to show you how to be nourished and remind you that it's not all one way, that it's okay to receive that nourishment from someone else. And it's not just what do they say? It's not just platitudes. It's not just empty words. I deserve to have a nourishing relationship. No, it's not that. You're destined to have a nourishing relationship. And you've just had this lifetime of all the foundational work to help you see the balance between the dark and the light, the hard and the ease, the good, the bad, the ugly, the awesome. So that when this person really comes into your life, and because you've done the work, you'll recognize it, you'll see it, and you'll just go, oh, there you are. Thank fuck for that. And I know you're doing some really awesome stuff at the moment. So please keep doing that, because it's going to help a lot. And the next thing to look at is that codependency stuff. Okay? Some really cool stuff coming for you, honey. It's just a little bit more work to go yet. Just a little bit. You've done a lot already. It's not all in vain. Let's have a look at your yummy card. We've got Grace. So this card is about tapping into your star ancestors' way of being, and being the star keeper. So when you sit in meditation next, have a look and see, where is the star keeper within? Ask, please show me. And begin to embody that space once again. Okay? So once you start embodying that space, all those other things that are very 3D will start to melt away. And you might start finding things will free up in your physical space as well. You might be able to let things go that you couldn't let go before. You might, and that from both a physical, emotional, and mental, because it just won't matter. Be like, oh, okay. Enjoy this space. Enjoy the area that you're going to go into. It can be a lot of fun. It's going to be a bit of work, but yes. You are welcome. It is my pleasure. My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. These cards, man. These cards are so zingy. They, like I said, they don't come out very often. And the very first time I ever touched them, it was like off of my hands, and I'm like, whoa, okay, cool. Cool. Thanks. I think I have to get you. Evening, beautiful Julie. Thank you for being with us tonight. I appreciate you very, very much. So did you all see that I have now got 500 followers on my Facebook page? How fun is that? I never would have thought. So I'm wondering if there's like some things that I can do now that I've reached the benchmark of 500 followers. Like maybe I could do that whole stars thing. I have no idea. I have to check it out. But anyway, I'm not up to play on that one. Thank you, Julie. I'm here. I just show up, and it's good. It's a good night. It's a good night when I have people to chat with. You make me feel loved and nourished, and I enjoy speaking with you, and it's fun for me to be here and, share what's going on and the little bits and bobs that I know and chew it. And a friend said to me today that they really love listening to the show, and they'll stick around for maybe the first hour or so, and then they'll tootle off, and I'm just like, oh, that's so cool. And even one of our beautiful people in here said something similar to me last weekend, and I was just like, oh, makes me feel just so loved. And to me, it's not necessarily about the numbers. A lot of people would not continue to do a podcast that lasts, over an hour long for the numbers that I get. They wouldn't choose it. I do it because it's my way of connecting with you all. And I love it. It keeps my skills sharp. It's good practice for me, especially when we start doing those speed reads and things like that, the poetry book and things. It keeps my practice with tuning in with you all from a distance and all that sort of stuff. And I just love it. And it's my contribution back to the collective too, and with our meditations and things like that. I always had a dream of being able to reach more people via some platform, and this is how I do it. And it makes me feel like I am achieving some of my purpose in this beautiful, weird, wacky world that we're in. And you all encourage me to keep growing and shifting and changing too, which is wonderful. So thank you for the congratulations. It's a weird thing. It's cool. And, when you've had a big, long week, sometimes it's nice to just sit back, relax, and enjoy some laughter and joy. Because you guys make me feel giggly and joyful. So thank you to you all. So with that in mind, let us do some gratitude poems. All right. So for those of us who have been floating around for a while, first number between 1 and 88 that pops into your head, please put that in the chat now. The first number between 1 and 88. Well done, ladies. Alrighty, Julie, 43. Pants and Fate. Hang on, just before I read that. Okay. That's better. All right. Julie's team is coming in the house. Beautiful. Pants and Fate. After all these years, could it be so? Could I still be in love? The ache in my heart says yes. The voices around me say it would be a mistake, but I've always made my own way. I have loved another so completely, but still, I love you. We have both grown in our feelings, minds, and wisdom, and once again our paths have crossed. This time, I think, we need to do something to put my heart at ease. Fate is trying its hardest to push us together, and sometimes it is best to flow freely with fate. I have come to a place of peace in my life, of understanding and of patience. I feel that you have too. This may be a sign that at last we are ready for each other, and that this world and the people in it are ready for us. Yes, of course, Melinda, you're allowed. So, Julie, this isn't a person. This is a thing. This is an offering. This is a idea that you have had in the past, and maybe quite a while ago, that is now rolling around again. Maybe slightly changed, it's slightly matured, but it's coming around again, and it's asking for you to please play with it this time. If you don't, it's going to flow on through, and possibly maybe one more time come back. But that next time will be the very last time. If you play with it now, though, and you start growing and developing it and doing it now, or at least grab it now and start playing with it and breathe some life into it, it's going to be around for a really long time to play with and to enjoy and grow and do some amazing things for you, with you, as you. If you just let it slide on by because you're like, oh, I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I've got too many other responsibilities, I don't know how I'm going to fit it into my life right now, it's going to float away. So be on the lookout for that idea or concept that has popped up for you and has reappeared after some years. This isn't just like 6 months ago. This is like something that tugged at you a while ago. And it's now very much ready for you, and you are ready for it. Okay? So that's a fun one. Taylor, let's have a look. 59 for you, my darling. Okay, you got in time. When our worries and woes are upon us, we may feel very frustrated that things are not going our way. But one day soon, my worries and woes will go, and I will no longer have to frown, but my smile will be real instead of the fake one I'm wearing now. So I'm actually going to read to you the little blurb that's under this. This was at a time when money was tight. I was working full-time at Right Price Hastings, which is a supermarket, as a checkout operator and a supervisor. I loved my job as I felt appreciated and like my friendliness was appreciated by my co-workers and customers. I had this policy of never letting one customer's bad mood flow onto the next person through me, and the customers loved it. So that was just like a little little bit of side information of when you are truly being you, the true you, the people around you will respond to that really, really well. And you might only let it out in little bits. That lightness, that brightness, the space of being beautiful, of like, and what I mean by beautiful is like that bright shine from inside, right? You're welcome, Julie. Thank you, my darling. Thank you for being here. But when we are in spaces where we are still dealing with our trauma, whether that be childhood trauma, teenage trauma, early 20s trauma, whatever trauma it might be, and that can be familial trauma, so trauma that's been passed down through your genetics, because that's a possibility too, or trauma that has come down through your spiritual lines. It can make you feel like you have to cover that up with a bright smile. But if you really look at somebody who's doing that, their eyes are not sparkling. And that's what that's talking about there, of the fake smile. I was really good at doing the fake smile, and very few people knew how to read me in a way that they could see beyond that, which was really handy while working in customer service, because in reality, I was struggling hard. I was in a super narcissistic relationship with a gaslighter who had borderline personality disorder, who was, not faithful to me. Not that I knew that at the time, but energetically I would have known. I was disconnected from my spiritual awareness, my physical awareness. I was not in my body. And as a result, I just felt really numb a lot of the time, and hurting, numb but hurting at the same time, right? So there was all this pressure coming on me from a financial point of view, because the husband that I was with at that time, he was also really wonderful at spending money without much concept of the bills or the budgets or anything like that. That's why I was struggling financially. And it was a tough time. It was a really tough time. And there was only, I can't even think of a single person besides my granddad that could identify that the smile I had was fake. I knew, but I also didn't know how to get out of it at that time. So this poem here is basically letting you know that even though all of that is going on right now, it's okay. It will pass. Doing what you're doing right now, just being here, being connected to Melinda and other amazing people like that, is leaps and bounds ahead of where I was at back then. So keep going. Let your inner light shine. be courageous. Step into those spaces where you can actually deal with portions of that trauma as you can. It's going to get uncomfortable for a while. You've got to feel that resistance and push through anyway. Lean into it, and it will get better. It will get better. So thank you, Taylor. It will get better in time. That's why this poem's called In Time. So believe in you and keep a focus on, if you were truly being you, and maybe write this down, if you were truly being you, who would that be? And you can turn it around to go, if I'm truly being me, truly, what would that look like? What would that feel like? And then you can go even further into your other 5 senses. What would that taste like? What would that smell like? And have a look and see where that goes. What you might uncover around that. Okay? Catherine. Catherine, before I read this poem, has somebody you know passed away recently? Or has a relationship ended really recently, like a friendship or something like that? You're welcome, Taylor. Oh, that cup of tea is so good. It's the puka revitalized today. So good. Okay. Well, I'm glad nobody around you's actually died. That's a good thing. That's nice. But yeah, there's certainly some grief going on. So the poem that you've chosen is 34, which is The Loss. In these days of sorrow, when your loved one has left you, they are at peace with life, to have no more suffering and no more tears. Know that although you grieve, that the memory of them will be with you forever to remember and smile upon. So this poem is about grief, but it was written from a perspective of grief to, like, this was to encourage you. So it was like this person had died, but I was writing this to you. Okay, imagine that. And it was to bolster you so that you could remember the good times and not necessarily focus too much on the loss, the negative space that has been left in your life. And if this friendship is feeling a bit like that, like they've died and they've left you and you don't feel like they can ever come back, and then there's all the stuff around the grief of, but I thought we were going to be friends forever. I can't believe they did that to me. It's all got a very similar energy to when somebody physically dies and leaves your space. So take a big deep breath, Catherine. I truly believe that, especially when friendships end, they are leaving space for you to have something even more wonderful come into your life. Somebody who can grow with you further than what you are now. There's a beautiful little saying or thing of, people are with you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you sort of go, oh, God, that's just so like, there's plenty more fish in the sea, there's blah, blah, blah. Like, I used to hate those sayings. Absolutely hate them, especially when I was in the depths of my trauma and grief. But they're true. And what this poem is really asking you to do is to, within that process of forgiveness, it's about remembering the good times, remembering why you loved them in the first place and why you developed that friendship, so that you can move forward and not feel so much heavy in your heart. Okay? Excuse me. And let's just release all that energy. Goodness gracious. That was fun. Alrighty, Catherine. I hope that helps. Hello, Holly. So nice to have you joining us. It's been a while. I've been good. I'm relaxed. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to doing level 2 Reiki tomorrow and the next day. So, yes, we will be winding up the show fairly soon. Okay. All right. So we now have Melinda, 56 for Melinda. And Holly, if you're still floating around, you're welcome to choose the first number that comes to you between 1 and 88, and I can do a poem for you too. Alrighty. So you remember what I was saying about the codependency thing? You are the love of my life and my rock. You are the one who makes me laugh even when I'm crying. You are the one that I trust when everyone else is against me. You are my heart, you are my companion, you are my soul, and I love you. So I'm going to read the blurb at the bottom of that one for you. The neediness of that time is so obvious to me now. The ache to be loved and cared for, even at the total exclusion of my own awareness of what would create so much more in my world. The thought that I would be able to tough it on out and not make the same mistakes as my mum or parents did. In doing so, I ended up picking the same type of man as my dad in many ways and chose to create so much space of hurt for myself, as well as those who really were in their own way trying to tell me not to do it. Unfortunately, they also passed on the stubbornness and the tenacity, as in my parents passed that on. So, yeah. I think your team's just hammering that one home. It's time to look at that aspect as well, please. Oh dear. And it's something that us empaths are really, really good at. I don't know if you saw the video that I shared, I think it was today or maybe yesterday, around the 7 signs of an empath. And I was talking about this with a friend of mine today, who I said, one of the big things about being an empath for me is that, we pick up on all the energies around us, right? Which is something we were talking about before. But for me, what that means is that I not only pick it up, I feel them. So things like anger, when somebody is really, really angry, I feel it in my body and it hurts. I hate it. I hate feeling like that. So I don't play with that energy very well. So I try to fix it really, really fast because it's easier for me then. Even if it means I have to give up everything that I was doing, creating, like if I have to make all the compromises, I will do that just to avoid having the anger and feeling the anger in my world from other people. I can be angry and that's okay. And I've learned how to express that and work with it in the years since, but this is how I used to be. And even now I have a lot more allowance for anger, but it's still, I still get those moments like when, say, Alex is working on the car and he's getting frustrated and angry with that. There's those moments where inside I just want to jump up and go over and say, hey, can I help? What can I do to help you? What can we do to help make this better? What if there's nothing I can do to help to make it better? And that's exactly what has to happen. He has to work through that. He has to work through his frustrations and his anger and all of that. And it's actually egotistical of me to try to step in and fix that just so that my life is easier. Right? So this is where the people pleasing part comes in. So when I say to the exclusion of myself, this is also where the codependency comes in, and that's where the neediness comes in. That's why this is asking to come up to be cleared for you, because once you can sit in your own space and have allowance for others doing their own thing, you will be back in your potency. You'll be sitting strong. And so that'll make that being at the hub, like you've just said, with the anger at the hub, it's actually really, really good training ground for you to be your potency and see. And I know you've sort of maybe been playing with this a little bit. When you come across those energies that really rub you the wrong way, see how you can work with those. See if you can, instead of being swept up and aligning and agreeing with that energy, see how you can alchemize that and be your starseed energy and work with it to change it around and play with it. And because there's so much you can do from an energetic point of view, from telepathic point of view, because starseed people don't use words like we do. They use telepathy. And you have that capacity, whether you realize it or not. Yeah. So there's I must hunt it up. My friend in Canada actually read a book on people pleasing just this year. So I'll get her to send me a copy of the cover and send that over to you. Just remind me after the show. And Holly, Miss Holly. Alrighty, Holly. Insecure. Some people are so insecure within themselves that they feel they have a duty to bring everyone else down around them. These people should learn to overcome their problems within. Find the better person inside and then think about the people around them who have suffered because of the negative attitude which has been forced upon them. Once the negative attitude has been replaced, these people may find that they have an easier life in which they have success in business and in their relationships. Sorry, just reading what I wrote. So, Holly, It's okay to feel more space, more ease, more enlightened, if you like. Maybe you don't like that word, than other people. It's okay. The one thing that's coming through this is, even though you have the knowledge, even though you have the experience, and even though you know that the tools that you have, the experience you have, the knowledge you have, if other people would just take it on board, for fuck's sake, why won't you listen? There are certain people out there that will not. They will have to do things the hard way. It's your job to share when you are able to, when you get that it's actually going to create the most for their highest and best. And when they won't listen, you have to have allowance for that too. And that's when you just be the energy of that knowledge, of that experience, of the tools, of all the wondrous magicalness that you be. You be the shining light. You be the example. You walk the walk. You talk the talk. Eventually, they'll either do one of two things. They'll either leave or they'll walk with you. And they'll start asking, well, how come this is so easy for you? They'll start questioning in a way that is more curious rather than judgmental. While they're still in their space of 3Dness, they're not gonna get you. And they will be judgmental little fuckers. And they will, try to take you down, and they'll be, trying to get their little hooks into you. See it for what it is. Expand out beyond it. It's all right. I see you. Smile and walk away. Okay. You have to see beyond the outer actions. You have to see, and you can see what is beyond that. See the truth of it. They are, as the poem says, the title of the poem is Insecure. They're insecure. They're in their own hurt spaces. They're in their own trauma. And that's where they're functioning from. It's okay to shine brightly regardless. And don't you let anyone who tells you different to that have their words sit in your heart. Okay? You got this. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And there is a gentleness and yet a lot of strength within you. So, yeah. And you have the awareness of what will create more for them in relationships and business and money and all the things. Trust that and use it to your best advantage. Oh, dear. Okie dokie, Holly. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was a nice change. Bit of shifting gears. So, Melinda, I have been noticing the things of the telepathy. Hey, you're welcome, Holly. Type lately, thank you. I'm grateful for all the info. You're welcome. Yeah, people pleasing, it's a big thing. And it's something us empaths do very, very fucking well because it makes our lives easier. Because if you think about it, if you've got somebody over here doing the anger, the rage, whatever, and you're picking up on all that energy and it feels horrible, right? It hurts. But if we fix that, if we solve that, if we people please that, if we compromise and do whatever it is to make that better, then we're not being exposed to that energy anymore. It no longer hurts. It's like, yay. That's why we do it. Does it make it right? Nah, probably not. Oh. All right. My loves, I think it's meditation time. Simply because I do have my Reiki tomorrow. I've got to travel all the way to Gawler. So I've got an early start, and it does take me a little bit to wind down after these shows. So let us get into our meditation, and yeah, I think that would be really good. I'm just having a quick look at something to see if I can find it. Nope. Nope. I don't want to do any of those things. I don't know where it is. Oh well, does not matter. Okie dokie. So I hope you've all had a nice drink of water or a cup of tea or something. Let's take a lovely big deep breath. Close our eyes and take a big deep breath in. And breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, breathing Mother Earth and unconditional love all the way up. And as you breathe out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now, of course, in the day-to-day, if this is the only thing you can do, if that little piece there is the only thing you can do 3 big in-breaths and out-breaths. You will feel more centered and more connected straight away. But we're going to keep going. So as you become aware of your body, you feel the cells and molecules of your beautiful, beautiful body. Perceive how they all talk to each other. They communicate from your fingertips and your toes all the way up to your brain. How your hair speaks to your belly. They're all talking with each other all the time. They have their own little jobs to do, but at the same token, they're all in communion with each other. They know their place. It's just marvel in the gloriousness of this incredible creation of our body. When was the last time you truly gave thanks to your body? And now let's expand out our awareness. We'll go through the expanding out tool. Expanding out your awareness beyond your body, out to the size of the room that you're in a big bubble, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the building that you're in, up into the sky and down into the earth. Or if you're in your car, up into the sky, down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the country that you're in, beyond the size of the planet. Expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the solar system. And now expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the galaxies. And now expanding out your awareness beyond the size of the universes. And if you like, you can expand out your awareness beyond wherever your awareness has been before. Beautiful. And this might feel a little bit uncomfortable, and you might be feeling a little bit of tension in your body. That's okay. This is about teaching you to feel the resistance and leaning into it anyway. And now as we focus on our body once again, grab your sense of allowance. Remembering that as we expand out our allowance, we go from being that tight little pebble at the bottom of the raging river of everybody's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, being bashed and trashed about by everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you expand out beyond that to become the nice, bright, fluffy, rainbow-filled cloud, looking over that raging river, seeing it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. It's not the he said, she said. It's not the actions. It's not the anger, the rage, the frustration, and the hate. It's just energy. You just have total allowance for it. You just see it for what it is. It's the beauty of expanding out your allowance. So expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the room that you're in a beautiful big bubble. Expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the building, up into the earth and down into the planet. Expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the country that you're in, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, the universes, and now expanding out your allowance beyond the size of your awareness, please. Take a big deep breath in and just allow your body to relax, please. Take another big deep breath in and relax even further. Once more, and just really perceive how different your body feels with your allowance being greater and expanded out beyond your awareness. And now what I would like to just nourish our bodies with is I'd like to do some really specific focus on the unconditional love from Mother Earth, from Source, from the universe, from whoever or whatever resonates for you. And what I'd like you to do is imagine that there is this beautiful, bright, white, opalescent light. And it is sitting in a bowl. And it's over your head. And within this bright, white, opalescent light, and swirling around with it, is some beautifully nourishing pink light. And some nice, lovely green light. Pink for the love, green for the healing, but also green for the heart space. And now what I'd like you to imagine is that there are all these little stars within the mixture too. And as these little stars are moving around and rolling over the bowl, it's thinning out very gently in teeny tiny little spots the material that the bowl is made from. And as these little stars pierce through, like little pinpricks of light coming through the bowl above your head, it now allows that energy, the beautiful bright white opalescent light, the pink and the green light, to flow over very, very gently and slowly, much like the sands in an hourglass. Just gently and slowly moving over the crown, down through your body, through the head, through the brain, through the subconscious and conscious mind, through your eyes, filling you up with unconditional love, the pink of love, and the green of not only the heart space, but of healing as well. Moving through your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your gums, your teeth, your tongue, your ears, healing away and letting go of any and all things hurtful that you have heard, that you have seen, that you have tasted, that you have smelt. Removing that all, eliminating it, eradicating it, neutralizing it with these beautiful lights, the amazing opalescent light of unconditional love. Coming down through your neck, where it is working to neutralize everywhere that somebody has been a pain in your neck and dropped you out of being able to feel centered and loving and sparkly and magical and potent. Moving down through your shoulders, which carry so much energy. Bearing the weight of the world on your shoulders. This is helping to just ease some of that away now. If not all of it, however much you're willing to let go of, allow the beautiful unconditional love light, the pink and the green, to smooth over your shoulders, over your collarbone, through your shoulder blades, all the muscles and the sinews and the tendons. moving down your arms, your upper arms and your elbows and your forearms. They have done so much. They've carried the loads of many millennia. They've carried the loads, your hands and your wrists and your fingers have carried the loads of babies and shopping and all the chores. We give so much gratitude and thanks to our incredible arms and our hands today. Letting all that beautiful sparkly energy nourish your arms all the way down to your fingertips. So it remembers on a cellular level how to feel loved and nourished and nurtured, and like we actually care. We care about this incredible vessel that we have created. Moving down your chest, the upper part of your spine and your back. Once again, giving thanks, bringing that beautiful unconditional love, that bright white opalescent light through the upper shoulders, through the back of where the heart sits. And as the bright white opalescent light and the pink and the green moves through these areas, these highly, highly charged areas, letting go of all of the heart hurts that are sitting there. Just let them all be eased away. Any little bubbles of negativity or judgments or traumas that you're willing to let go of now, just let them all be washed away. Free up the space. Moving that beautiful bright white opalescent light down through your belly, through your mid and lower back. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well done. Where we hold so much emotional energy sitting in our bellies that we almost never give ourselves time to process properly. Instead, we do other things like we eat. We'll judge ourselves for eating. And then we go and eat some more because we feel crappy. If that doesn't resonate for you, that's totally okay. But for those of us that it does, we ask for that to be healed, and all the spaces and places where we feel like that's the only way to cope with the trauma of having so many emotions that we're aware of stuck in our bellies. Instead of just allowing those energies to float out of us, just let it all go now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're doing really well, guys. Let's move that bright white opalescent light of unconditional love down through the pelvic area now. Another very highly charged area where so much trauma can sit. I'm not going to uncover any of that right now. It's not the time nor the place. So we're just going to flood the whole entire area with unconditional love. With the pink and the green light as well, just swirling in and around. helping your bones, and your tendons and your ligaments and your muscles feel strong and flexible and at their highest vitality and strength. Beautiful. Coming down through the legs, through the thighs. Just really perceiving that unconditional love flowing through your body right now. So we're doing it nice and slowly so you really get a chance to fully acknowledge every single part of you. Through to your knees and your shins and your calves, all the way down through your ankles, through your feet, and all the way to your toes. And up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And for those of you who now feel like you're floating, enjoy that sensation. You may suddenly feel a space of weightlessness. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. That's the space of light, of ease that we talk about so often on the show, of grace. And now as you tap down onto Mother Earth, allowing that energy to flow all the way from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers and your toes, that beautiful bright white opalescent light, the pink and the green, flowing all the way down through the soles of your feet, down through into Mother Earth, down into the center of Mother Earth. Where we're going to pause for just a moment so that you may have the opportunity to gain some awareness of what it is like to be made of stardust. And now coming all the way back up through all of the crystalline layers, acknowledging and giving thanks and gratitude and unconditional love to all the layers as we move back up through them. Back up through your feet, through your legs, through your pelvis, through your belly, all the way up through your chest and all the way down to your fingertips, up through to the crown and beyond. Now expanding out that beautiful bright white unconditional love light, the pink and the green, expanding out in that beautiful bubble beyond all of your auric fields. And as it does so, it just cleans and clears all your auric fields as well. Beautiful. And now take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Beautiful. And now imagine stepping out and underneath a big, huge crystalline waterfall. And the water flows over and through your body all the way down. And now coming out onto a big warm river rock. And we're at the last space and place of our journey now. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Cool. And once more, bringing Mother Earth all the way in. And Father Sky, and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down through your body. Beautiful. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So for self-care today, please remember to have some water, perhaps a little bit of salt. You might even like to pop a little bit of Himalayan salt in your water. Nothing wrong with that. You may even feel like you require something a little bit sweet, maybe some fruit, maybe a little bit of chocolate, something like that, and a little bit more water. Okay? Whenever we do these healings, these meditations, we are moving a lot of energy really, really quickly. So I ask that you please do some self-care today. After this meditation, at least, at the very, very least, please go have some water. And I hope that over the weekend you have an amazing time. Whatever you choose to do, please get out there. Do something tasty, do something nourishing and nurturing for yourself. I really don't mind what it is. What I would love for you to do is to do something that's just going to keep you calm and nourished and help see you through the rest of your week, because things might get a little bit bumpy. So let's build ourselves up and ready ourselves for that. And if it doesn't happen, great. But if it does, you'll be ready. So in the meantime, my beautiful, beautiful friends, I hope you enjoyed that meditation. And until next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. We'll see you next week. Bye.